Hello, everybody. This is Sree from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, and sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses all over the world. Check it out on myworkbelt.com. And today we have a guest, Craig Andrews. Craig Andrews is a principal ally at alliesforme.com. It's allies number four dot me.com, and they're in a high ticket, high trust marketing firm. Craig, how are you doing today?
Sree, I'm doing wonderfully. How about yourself?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me today. And as always, a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And I apologize. I still have a little bit of a cough. I think last time we talked, I mentioned that a little bit's come back, which is puzzling. So if I cough, I just apologize to you and the listeners. But let's rock and roll.
I'll see that's exactly the topic I wanted to talk to you. You gave me a very good segue, right? So you are, as a business owner, your story is very powerful.
Hmm.
How? Because you went into a very incredibly difficult health situation during COVID, and you are running your business. You're on the hospital bed, and that naturally impacts the bed, impacts the business health, right? And now you
Yeah.
came out of it, and now you're turning your business into a very healthy situation, healthy condition to the business as well. So my question here is, how is the health of a physical health of a human being or a business leader, and of course psychological health is also equally important, but how is the health of a business owner, business leader correlates to the health of a business?
I think here's a really simple way of putting it.
Yeah,
Every organ in our body
yeah,
thrives on oxygen.
that's correct.
The better your body is at delivering oxygen to every single organ,
Uh-huh.
the better you perform. And one of those important organs is your brain.
Absolutely.
And so, one way of looking at your body, so if you think about business owners, a really good business owner, a really good operator
Right.
focuses on fine tuning every part of their business for maximum efficiency.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want your brain to be operating the best, you need to fine tune your oxygen delivery system for its
To the
maximum
brain,
performance.
to the brain's maximum performance.
Yeah.
Right.
And that starts, I mean, obviously reading is an extremely important part of that. Don't want to diminish that for a second, but your cardiovascular health is absolutely critical. The better health you're in, the more oxygen you're getting to your brain, the more oxygen you're getting to your brain, the clearer and better thinking that you're having.
Right. So it's not just simply the oxygen part, right? When you're talking about the physical health of a human being, food, exercise, and oxygen, right? As you're talking about oxygen, we
Yeah.
take that as a air quality and food intake quality and having a physical exercise. Those are the those are the elements that keeps your physical body healthy.
And let me throw one more in there, and that's
Yeah,
rest.
absolutely,
Um, a good
absolutely.
night's sleep. Now, I think sleep has a different definition for people. I've
Yeah.
noticed that when I'm eating well and when I'm in good shape, I wake up naturally at 6 hours. So if I go
Uh-huh.
to sleep, it almost doesn't matter what time I go to sleep. When I'm in good health and in good shape and eating well, I'll wake up 6 hours later.
Right.
And but like this morning, I've been fighting some bug. I got a respiratory bug that hits me harder than it does most because of my history. And this morning, I was going to get up at 4:30 and work out. And I didn't. I actually slept till past 7.
Uh-huh.
And it was me listening to my body saying, I
You need
know my
more
body
rest.
well enough to know something was off. And so I slept in. But that's rare. but it's part of taking care of my body. But I'm hoping tomorrow to get back to getting up at 4:30 and working out because that's just such a critical part to me being able to do everything else well during the day.
So, what we are looking at here is it is extremely important as a business owner or a business leader. You have to give it utmost importance to your physical health of a body, and then secondary, your psychological health of of your human being, right? Now, when both of them are at an optimum level, then you naturally perform on your business decisions at a maximum level.
Yes.
And now, once you perform at a maximum level on the business decisions, naturally, health of a business is going to be at a maximum level,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, the correlation that we are drawing here is number one, the physical health of a human being who is leading the business, owner, CEO, or anybody for that matter, even for the departmental heads, they have to recognize that their physical health, their emotional health impacts their department's performance, isn't it?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And, another way of thinking about it is capacity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I take it into the concept of a factory or any workforce, we all have a certain amount of surge capacity. So
Mm-hmm.
if all of a sudden, let's say you have a factory, you get a lot of orders, you have a certain amount of surge capacity that's available to meet those orders.
Right.
Uh, if you don't have surge capacity, then all of a sudden you have these orders coming in that you can never deliver on.
Then you become overwhelmed.
Right. Well, your factory, but I would say our bodies also have a certain amount of surge capacity.
That is correct.
And so, and we have that. I mean, things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody has employees has had a day where they came into work and an employee didn't show up or an employee did something
Wrong,
really
yes.
bad
Yeah.
that all of a sudden now you have an extra 1, 2, 3, 5 hours of your day that is dealing with this employee issue, backfilling capacity or dealing, whatever it is. Well, you need that. You need that surge capacity for those days because you probably had a different day planned for that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that may mean that you need to still get some other things done. Well, if you're wiped out, you don't have that. And I'll just be honest, Shree, that's been an issue for me since I got out of the hospital, is because my lungs are in a little bit of a depleted state. I don't have the surge capacity I once had. Now, I think you know me well enough that
Right, right.
I work every week when getting back
Yes.
to where I was. But it's a real thing, and I feel
See,
the
but there is a
difference.
difference though, Craig. You came from military background, right? The
Yeah.
discipline is in your DNA. If it's not by birth, but from the military experience, you have that discipline instilled in your subconscious and in your body, basically. So
Yes.
that actually helps you to take on a certain positive habit, apply the discipline that is one of your key strengths, to take that into become part of your body. Either it can be exercising, or it can be taking a good food choices, or it can be reading, or anything like that. But that's not the case with the general business owners or business community.
Yeah, and I would say, and you make a really good point, Shrey, but I would say that's a choice.
True.
That is and let me give you an example of another muscle I had to learn how to exercise, a muscle I had to learn how to develop.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about there being naturally gifted writers.
Yes.
Well, I had somebody convince me that's not true. He said anybody can be an exceptional writer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's certain disciplines you have to do to
Right.
develop that. And now today, most people would say that I'm a very good writer. I have marketing friends that I have high respect for that, really anytime I write something, they see it, they compliment me. They talk about how they wish they could write that way.
Oh,
Well,
likewise. I complimented you so many times. I wish I can write like what you do.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I grew up, I grew up in Dorchester County, Maryland. And I can tell you, Dorchester County, Maryland does not give the world gifted writers.
Gifted
Uh,
writers. Well, he did now.
in fact, as a matter of fact, my brother, when he went to college, so Dorchester, Maryland is county is on what they call the Eastern Shore, of Maryland. It's on the east side of the Chesapeake Bay. And my brother went to college on the Western Shore, and he turned in his first writing assignment, and his professor said, "Let me guess, you grew up on the Eastern Shore."
That's so bad.
So that's the type of writing my hometown develops naturally.
See, again, come back to you the same thing. You are applying the discipline in turning a challenge into a strength.
Yes,
So, what the lesson we are trying to get across here is the listeners who are listening, hopefully, you're taking away from here. Number one, your body's health, your emotional health, or your psychological health is extremely important in order to make your business healthier. Now, in order to have your body's health, your psychological health is to the top, you have to have a discipline. And how the discipline is coming is from the mindset. Right. So you have
absolutely.
that mindset that you wanted to learn something, you got it, right, Craig? So if I
But
go
it's
back
like
further deeper into it, you have to have that mindset.
you have to have the mindset that you are going to develop muscles, and you have to be strategic about the muscles you're going to develop. And when it comes to if you're running a business, you can't neglect your physical health.
Correct.
And, I'll admit, I've not been perfect in that area. There have been
Right, right.
times where I say I'm too busy to exercise. And I
Uh-huh.
would say that that's broken thinking. Um, the it's a time multiplier. When you take that time to exercise, you will get that time back in multiples by having a healthier body that's able to have more stamina, that's able to think more clearly. It will just the exercise itself will deal with a lot of the negative emotions, get some of the bile out of your system.
This is the concept basically the high performance coaches will sell it for you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you strongly believe that I want to make sure my business is healthy, the reason is I want to make sure I want to take care of my employees, I want to take care of my customers, and we need to build a brand that is a trusted brand in the market for
Yes.
both employees and the customer side. In order for you to do that, recognize the fact that your physical health, your mental health as a business leader, as a business owner, is extremely important. And it is, matter of fact, a foundation for the growth of your organization.
And if I can throw out one last challenge to those listening, there are people who are listening that say, "Oh, I need to get to a certain point. I need to lose a certain amount of weight. I need to do this before I start exercising."
Yeah.
So it was almost exactly 4 years ago today that
Uh-huh.
I showed up at Camp Gladiator in a wheelchair and with a tank of oxygen wrapped around my neck.
Yes, that's correct.
And so I would say, whatever your excuse is for not getting out and exercising, it's not bigger than my excuse.
No,
Unless you're in worse shape than being in a wheelchair and on oxygen, I don't want to hear your excuse why you're not going to start exercising. My excuse was many times bigger, but I did it and it changed my life.
excellent. Craig, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your experience. And hopefully, the listeners who are listening to the podcast, please subscribe and share the content, and make sure we are spreading the positive impact all around the world in small business community. And make sure you keep your healthy bodies and you keep your mental health to the peak performance, and naturally, your business will perform at a higher level. That's the big takeaway for us today. And hopefully, we will see you back again in next episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sree.